Daniel had always been drawn to the sea. Its vastness, its mystery, and its power captivated him since childhood. So when he inherited his grandfather's old sailboat, he saw it as an opportunity to fulfill his lifelong dream of sailing around the world. The boat, named Mariner's Legacy, was a sturdy vessel with a rich history. It had weathered many storms and witnessed countless adventures. Daniel spent months preparing for his journey, ensuring the boat was in top condition and stocking up on supplies. Finally, the day arrived for Daniel to set sail. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, he cast off from the harbor and felt the wind fill the sails. As the Mariner's Legacy glided through the water, Daniel couldn't help but feel a sense of exhilaration. Days turned into weeks as Daniel sailed across the open ocean. He encountered breathtaking sunsets, playful dolphins, and the occasional distant ship on the horizon. But as time passed, he began to notice something unsettling. Each night, Daniel would wake to the sound of whispers echoing across the deck. At first, he dismissed it as his imagination playing tricks on him. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent, and distinctly human. One particularly stormy night, Daniel awoke to find the boat engulfed in dense fog. The whispers seemed to surround him, their words unintelligible yet filled with urgency. Gripped by fear, Daniel searched the boat but found nothing. As dawn broke, the fog lifted, revealing a sight that chilled him to the bone. Scattered across the deck were remnants of old, tattered clothing, as if the whispers belonged to souls lost at sea. Unnerved but determined to press on, Daniel continued his journey, hoping to leave the whispers behind. But the eerie presence seemed to follow him, growing stronger with each passing day. One evening, as Daniel sat alone on the deck, he felt a cold hand grip his shoulder. Startled, he turned to find himself face to face with a spectral figure, its eyes filled with a haunting sadness. "Help us," it pleaded, its voice barely a whisper. "We are trapped, cursed to wander the sea for eternity." Daniel's heart raced as he realized the truth. The Mariner's Legacy was not just a boat. It was a vessel for lost souls, bound to the ocean by a dark and ancient curse. As the specter faded into the night, Daniel knew he had to find a way to break the curse and free the souls trapped aboard the ship. But the journey ahead would test his courage like never before, leading him into the heart of darkness that lurked beneath the waves. Determined to unravel the mystery of the curse haunting the Mariner's Legacy, Daniel delved into the boat's history. Through old logbooks and faded photographs, he pieced together a tale of tragedy and betrayal that spanned generations. It began with Daniel's own ancestors, a family of seafarers who had sailed the oceans for centuries. But their lust for wealth and power led them down a dark path, culminating in a fateful voyage that ended in disaster. Centuries ago, the Mariner's Legacy was not a sailboat, but a merchant vessel, tasked with transporting precious cargo across the seas. On one ill-fated journey, the ship encountered a violent storm that claimed the lives of all aboard. But the true horror began after the storm subsided. The survivors, driven mad by grief and desperation, made a pact with dark forces in a desperate bid for salvation. In exchange for their souls, they were granted immortality, doomed to wander the seas for all eternity. As Daniel delved deeper into the boat's past, he uncovered clues hidden within the ship itself. Secret compartments revealed cryptic symbols and arcane rituals, hinting at the dark magic that bound the souls to the Mariner's Legacy. Armed with this knowledge, Daniel embarked on a perilous quest to break the curse and release the trapped souls. He sought out ancient texts and consulted with mystics and scholars, piecing together fragments of lore scattered across the globe. But the closer Daniel came to unraveling the mystery, the more the curse fought back. Supernatural storms raged across the ocean, threatening to swallow the Mariner's Legacy whole. Malevolent spirits lurked in the shadows, haunting Daniel's every step. Yet through sheer determination and unwavering courage, Daniel pressed on. He knew that only by confronting the darkness head-on could he hope to free the souls bound to the Mariner's Legacy and lift the curse once and for all. As the final pieces of the puzzle fell into place, Daniel stood at the helm of the Mariner's Legacy, facing the heart of the storm. With ancient incantations echoing in his mind, he called upon the powers of light to banish the darkness that had plagued the ship for centuries. In a blinding flash of light, the curse was broken and the souls trapped aboard the Mariner's Legacy were finally set free. As the storm subsided and the ocean grew calm once more, Daniel felt a sense of peace wash over him. With the curse broken and the souls freed from their eternal torment, Daniel felt a profound sense of relief wash over him. The weight that had been pressing down on his shoulders for so long lifted, leaving behind a newfound lightness of being. As the days passed, Daniel's journey continued, but now it was filled with a sense of purpose and hope. He sailed from port to port, sharing the tale of his adventure with anyone who would listen, spreading the message of redemption and the power of overcoming darkness. Along the way, Daniel encountered others who had been touched by the curse of the sea, offering them solace and guidance in their own quests for freedom. Together, they formed a fellowship bound by a common bond, united in their determination to bring light to the darkest corners of the ocean. Years passed, and Daniel's name became legend among sailors and adventurers alike. Tales of his bravery and compassion spread far and wide, inspiring countless others to take up the mantle of heroism and face their own trials with courage and resolve. Norman been drawn to the water. There was something about the vast expanse of the sea that both thrilled and calmed him. He spent most of his free time on his small fishing boat, sailing along the coast, chasing the elusive catch of the day. But one fateful evening, Norman's routine excursion turned into a nightmare he would never forget. It was a misty evening, the kind where the sea seemed to merge with the sky, blurring the horizon into an indistinguishable line. Norman had decided to venture farther out than usual, hoping to find a new spot teeming with fish. As he sailed deeper into the ocean, the fog thickened, enveloping his boat in a shroud of eerie silence. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the mist, causing Norman to jolt upright. He scanned the surroundings, but the fog obscured his vision, leaving him disoriented. Another thud, louder this time, reverberated through the air, sending shivers down his spine. Norman's heart raced as he realized he was not alone. With trembling hands, he grabbed the flashlight and shone it into the darkness. What he saw made his blood run cold. A massive ship, its hull covered in rust and algae, loomed out of the mist like a ghostly apparition. Norman's mind raced with fear as he tried to comprehend how such a vessel could be out here, far from any known shipping lanes. As he stared in disbelief, a voice broke through the silence, chilling him to the bone. "Help us," it whispered, barely audible over the sound of the waves. Norman's heart pounded in his chest as he struggled to make sense of the voice. Who could be out here, and why were they calling for help? Driven by a mixture of curiosity and dread, Norman maneuvered his boat closer to the derelict ship. With each step, the sense of foreboding grew stronger, as if an invisible force was warning him to turn back. But Norman couldn't shake the feeling that he was being drawn into something beyond his control. As he reached the side of the ship, Norman tied his boat to a rusted ladder and climbed aboard, his hands slick with sweat despite the chill in the air. The deck was eerily quiet, the only sound the creaking of old wood beneath his feet. He called out, his voice echoing into the void, but received no response. Determined to unravel the mystery, Norman ventured further into the bowels of the ship. The corridors were dimly lit, casting long shadows that seemed to dance and twist with every step. He could feel eyes watching him from the darkness, unseen presences lurking just out of sight. Suddenly, he stumbled upon a door slightly ajar, a faint light flickering from within. With bated breath, Norman pushed it open, revealing a scene straight out of a nightmare. The room was filled with tattered beds and scattered belongings, but what caught Norman's attention was the figure huddled in the corner, their eyes wide with terror. "Who are you?" Norman asked, his voice trembling with fear. The figure remained silent, their gaze fixed on something unseen. Norman followed their line of sight and felt his blood turn to ice. Standing in the shadows was a spectral figure, its features twisted in agony, its eyes burning with an otherworldly light. Norman's mind reeled as he struggled to comprehend what he was seeing. Was this a ghost, a figment of his imagination, or something far more sinister? Before he could react, the figure lunged forward, its unearthly shriek piercing the silence. Norman stumbled backward, his heart racing as he fled from the room, the sound of ghostly laughter echoing in his ears. He scrambled up the ladder and onto his boat, his hands shaking as he cut the rope and sailed away from the haunted ship. Norman sailed through the night, the memory of the haunted ship burning like a brand in his mind. He tried to convince himself it was just a trick of the light, a product of his overactive imagination. But deep down, he knew it was real. The spectral figure, the ghostly voice, it was all too vivid to be dismissed as mere fantasy. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Norman finally reached the safety of the shore. He tied his boat to the dock with trembling hands, his mind still reeling from the events of the night before. He knew he couldn't keep this to himself. He had to warn others about the danger lurking out at sea. With a sense of urgency, Norman made his way to the local authorities and recounted his harrowing experience. But to his dismay, they dismissed his story as the ramblings of a madman, attributing it to exhaustion and stress. No one believed him, no one except for a young journalist named Emily. Emily had heard rumors of strange happenings at sea, whispers of ghost ships and lost souls. Intrigued by Norman's tale, she approached him with a determined look in her eyes. Together, they delved into the mystery, determined to uncover the truth behind the haunted ship. Their investigation led them to an old fisherman who had witnessed the ship's descent into madness firsthand. He told them of a tragic accident that had claimed the lives of everyone aboard, leaving behind nothing but echoes of pain and suffering. Norman and Emily listened intently, their resolve strengthening with each revelation. Armed with this new information, they set out to find the wreck of the haunted ship, determined to lay its restless spirits to rest. Guided by the old fisherman's directions, they sailed into the heart of the mist, their hearts pounding with anticipation. As they neared the coordinates, a sense of unease washed over them, the fog closing in around them like a suffocating embrace. But they pressed on, driven by a shared sense of purpose. Finally, they spotted the derelict ship looming out of the mist, its ghostly silhouette a stark reminder of the horrors that lay within. With trembling hands, they boarded the vessel, their eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of life. But the ship was empty, its corridors silent and still. Norman and Emily searched every inch of the vessel, but found no trace of the spectral figure that had haunted Norman's dreams. Just as they were about to give up hope, Emily stumbled upon a hidden compartment beneath the captain's quarters. Inside, they found a journal detailing the tragic events that had befallen the ship. It spoke of a crew driven mad by isolation and despair, their minds consumed by visions of the dead. As Norman and Emily read on, they realized the truth. They were not alone on the ship. With a sinking feeling in their hearts, they turned to leave, but before they could take a single step, a voice echoed through the darkness, chilling them to the bone. "Help us," it whispered, a plea from beyond the grave. Norman and Emily froze, their blood running cold as they realized the true horror of their situation. For the haunted ship was not just a vessel lost at sea. It was a prison for the souls of the dead, condemned to wander the endless expanse of the ocean for all eternity. With a newfound sense of determination, Norman and Emily vowed to uncover the secrets of the haunted ship and free the souls trapped within. And as they sailed into the mist, their hearts filled with courage and hope, they knew that their journey was far from over. But one thing was certain: the sea held many secrets, and not all of them were meant to be discovered. And so, the tale of Norman and Emily and the haunted ship faded into legend, a cautionary tale for those who dared to venture too far into the unknown depths of the ocean. But for those who believed, it served as a reminder that some mysteries were best left unsolved. For the sea was a vast and unforgiving mistress, and those who dared to defy her would do so at their own peril.